watching Targeted on the History Channel.
Yeah, I'm sure that Arkan was, at that time, not afraid.
With fragile peace established in Bosnia, Kosovo descends once again into chaos.
Serb history and Albanian history meet on the same battlefields in Kosovo. And although the population was 90% Albanian, the Serbs believed that it had originally been Serb, and it was just inevitable that this would be where the wars began in Kosovo.
Though Arkan remains visible in Belgrade, he reportedly continues to issue ethnic cleansing orders to his Tigers in Kosovo. January 16, 1999, a mass grave is found in Rejec, Kosovo.
It was the same story again and again that we heard like 5 years before. Paramilitary groups, maybe 50, 100 guys coming in the village, separate the men, the women, and the children, start looting, burning down, or even kill the children.
March 18, 1999, in bold defiance of the West, Slobodan Milosevic launches Operation Horseshoe.
An operation that he had planned for the springtime. He put 40,000 troops around Kosovo, moved in and attempted to crush Kosovo.
In the same way you revere your Battle of the Alamo, we revere our fight for survival. I consider Kosovo our Battle of the Alamo.
The West recoils from footage of thousands of refugees stranded in the mountains. Milosevic and his warlords have finally gone too far.
We're definitely present over there.
The same images are coming out of the former Yugoslavia as 1991, and I think at that point, President Clinton, Vice President Gore, Richard Holbrooke, they said, like, that's it.
In its first campaign against a sovereign country, NATO is given a new mandate, bombing for crisis management to prevent war crimes. The wrath of the world's greatest air power will be brought to bear on Arkan. NATO launches Operation Allied Force. NATO is given a mandate to bomb for crisis management to preempt further war atrocities.
As a result of Kosovo, NATO bombed downtown Belgrade. We hit the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Information. We went after hard targets.
Arkan responds with more defiance.
This is a message to Bill Clinton. Don't quarrel with Serbs, ever.
March 31st, 1999. The Hague War Crimes Tribunal finally makes public its indictment of Arkan.
Arkan was the most dangerous of thugs and criminals. Think of a street gang getting official sanction from Milosevic and Karadzic, and then running wild, raping and murdering and pillaging.
For the fascists, I'm a war criminal, and I don't give a damn how they call me.
He was not afraid that somebody from abroad might come to pick him up and to send him to The Hague, because he knew that he might be assassinated by some competitive groups here.
May 7th, 1999. NATO targets Arkan's Hotel Yugoslavia in Belgrade. Days later, a NATO bomb strikes the Chinese embassy in Belgrade. Publicly, the CIA is blamed for using old maps, but rumors persist that the highly accurate, globally positioned JDAM bomb had hit not only the intended building, but the precise room, one allegedly used by Arkan to rebroadcast intelligence to his paramilitary Tigers in Kosovo. After 79 days of bombing, Milosevic capitulates on NATO's threat of sending ground troops. In Belgrade, Slobo is cast as pariah for throwing away Serbian homeland.
A lot of people around Arkan himself started thinking that Milosevic was somebody who betrayed Serbs. At that time, Arkan started thinking about what will happen after Milosevic.
Though Arkan never publicly denounces Milosevic, Belgrade gossip spins with talk of a secret deal for Arkan to testify against Milosevic at The Hague.
It was said that men from the Hague Tribunal had secretly approached Arkan and asked him to be a witness.
He never said it publicly, but it was something that was in the air all the time. We knew it here, that Arkan is switching against Milosevic.
Milosevic can now be added to the list of Arkan's enemies. And after controlling the black market through 10 years of sanctions, Arkan's power rivals that of the Serbian leader.
Arkan was so hot that someone had to get him down or stop him because he was starting to be way too much power.
has so many enemies from so many different walks of life.
January 15th, 2000. Intercontinental Hotel Belgrade. Arkan sits with friends and two of his closest bodyguards.
Hotel Intercontinental has a lobby and there are a couple of boutiques there. He was invited by some people and they were sitting in a small brasserie in a hotel.
Arkan's wife, Setsa, steps away to shop in her sister's hotel boutique.
Suddenly 3 guys came in.
No one in the lobby notices as the men slowly approach Arkan's table. As Setsa rushes to her husband's side, the gunmen escape.
They just ran away.
Arkan had taken a fatal shot through the eye. He dies on the way to the hospital. 500 previous assassinations in Belgrade had gone unsolved, yet the Arkan triggermen are quickly apprehended.
Till then, most of the assassinations here happen on the open air, in the streets, particularly not hotel lobby where you have so many witnesses and it's very complicated to find the exit. But obviously it was such an important target they had to do it.
Though the gunmen refused to implicate others, Serbians suspect the contract on Arkan had to have been put out by someone with clout. Perhaps only one man in Serbia had more power than Arkan.
There were senior people in the regime about whom he knew too much. I think that he was killed in order to be silenced as a potential witness before the War Crimes Tribunal.
Everybody thinks here that Arkan was assassinated by a competitive part of a state security structure and affiliated gangsters because they considered Arkan as somebody who is potential problem for the regime.
In Belgrade, conspiracy theories abound.
I heard also that some of his soccer fans were not happy and just came and gunned him down.
I think the only good thing is that he's dead.
Many Serbs mourn the loss of a national hero.
Jedna ulica Bijeljini nosi naziv Srpske dobrovoljačke garde. Mnoge žene su u Bijeljini u Brčkom uzvorniku davale svojoj novorođenoj deci ime Arkan.
In the West, the only regret is that Arkan would never stand trial for his crimes against humanity.
Here's somebody who got what was coming to him, but sort of wanted him to be put on trial and for his world to be exposed and for him to spend the rest of his life in jail.
I'm not going to waste time lamenting his demise. He would have remained at large, and at large he was a dangerous racist fomenting hatred. And let's think more about the poor victims, the 300,000 dead, 2.5 million refugees who died as a result of what Milosevic, Karadzic, and men like Arkan did.
Belgrade remains haunted by Arkan's legacy.
In Serbia, they say that he's not dead, that his body is not even in the grave.
A new criminal class emerged in the vacuum left by Arkan. His wife Setsa was taken into custody in connection with the March 12, 2003 murder of Serbia's Prime Minister Zoran Đinđić. One suspect was named as Legia, a former lieutenant in Arkan's Tigers. Meanwhile, Arkan's political party continues to vie for power under the leadership of former Tiger Borislav Pelević.
I profoundly hope the future will bring an American apology to the Serbian people for the attack of 1999, for what I consider a completely unprovoked aggression against our country.
As the Balkan challenges of modern discretionary warfare in the desperate hope to keep the promise of never again.
There always can be justifications and good reasons to go and target people like Arkan or Saddam or Bin Laden, people of that nature, because sometimes their causes are so against what is correct and the proper way to live that the only way to solve that is by an assassination. We live in a very brutal world.